Hi, my name's Harry. I'm a final year international business studies student and I completed my placement year at the Walt Disney Company as a trade sales intern for Walt Disney World and Disney Cruise Line. So sort of in a nutshell, we managed the key partner relationships with the likes of TUI and Virgin in terms of sort of how they sold and promoted the products of Walt Disney World and Disney Cruise Line. I think there's sort of many positives that came out of the placement experience, but the main ones that kind of spring to mind would be one, the key skill set that I learned while I was on placement. One would be teamwork, working with different people who have different working styles and different personalities, so being adaptable to that, how to communicate effectively over email with people. Also, while working on projects, your sort of time management and organization of it, what tasks do you prioritize, when to get them complete by. And then a really important one as well would be business acumen, having understanding why businesses do things the way they do, being commercially minded with things. And then again, a really important one would be learning how to use different software. Prior to my placement, I didn't actually have much experience using Excel. Whereas obviously while on placement I used it every day and all businesses do. And these are just sort of the skills that you kind of appreciate and you take for granted, that now knowing when I go into sort of a graduate role, I can focus on the job at hand opposed to actually sort of just learning the basics from scratch. I think the second key positive point for me would be just gaining that industry experience. I can't understate how important that experience is. It takes such a large chunk of my CV up now with the skills that I learnt while on placement and the experiences I had. Again, it's a great talking point in interviews, and particularly when you get competency questions, whether that's give an example when you've worked in a team or give an example when you faced a challenge and how you overcame it. It's just a great talking point, and it's something other than just your university experience to rely on and lean on in those interview stages. I think the third and final sort of key positive point from the placement experience would be just having a better understanding of working within a business setting. It gave me a clear idea of maybe what I'd like to do in the future, just from looking at my experiences within the role and the bits of the job that I really liked, the bits maybe I didn't quite like. But not only that, looking at other parts of the business that I worked with, such as strategy, marketing, finance, and just understanding the roles better. And it sort of gives you a clearer idea and sort of more assurance when you come to apply for roles in the future, that you're tailoring it to something that, one, you're going to enjoy and that's best fit for you, and two, that sort of matches your skill set. I think talking about the negatives of the placement is quite a hard one for me, as personally I didn't really have any negatives while on placement itself that I can think of. If any, I think the main negative probably came while trying to secure the placement itself. I think with a lot of the companies, the processes can be quite long and time consuming with various different stages, and not knowing when a company's going to get back to you can be quite demoralising, particularly not knowing whether your hard work is going to pay off. And again, you're putting yourself in that sort of vulnerable position where you can potentially get rejected and other candidates get picked over you, which obviously isn't a nice feeling for anyone. But I can really vouch for the fact that, once you secure that placement, it's worthwhile and you're grateful for putting yourself through that process and then gaining that experience.